Welcome to another episode of One for the Table. I'm your host, Kimchi.
Why do you always pause?
I was just like, I don't know, hoping you'll say hi or something.
I did. I was going to say hi.
And you didn't, so then I just continued.
Yeah, there's like a little tiny bit of like delay because it has to go into the internet from your computer and then like to my computer. So if you take a little bit of a pause, it's going to be a little bit longer before I actually get it, even though we're right next to each other. So,
I mean, we've already done this so many times, and you know, you still can't get the hang of it.
Our rhythm is up.
And speaking of not being able to get the hang of it, there was 1 week where we didn't upload the episode because even though the episode was done, John forgot to upload it.
I'm so sorry. In my defense, like we never really established.
Yes. You're senile, yes.
Excuse me. I am here for your birthday.
Yeah, it's all about me and my feelings.
So we never established roles in this podcast. This is very much a partnership, and if one person,
it's been his job to upload the episodes every week, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Well, why didn't you do it?" And I'm like, "You've been doing it this entire time." And then all of a sudden you forget to do it, and all of a sudden it's my fault?
It wasn't that I didn't upload the episode. The episode was uploaded because actually Rob is the one that does that. It is both our jobs to title and give the synopsis.
No. Don't try to blame me for your shortcomings. Do not put me into this.
Because I do know that you've done it a couple of times at least.
I have never.
And that you absolutely have the password to get into the website.
You've always been the person to post this. That has never changed. And not once did you say, "Hey, could you post the episode?" No. That has been your responsibility.
And the only reason why I even realized that happened was because I was on Threads and somebody had made a post saying that we didn't have an episode this week, so they had no one to listen to while going to like the gym or something. And I was like, they first I was like, they listen to us when they work out. And then I was like, oh shit, I forgot to post this thing.
Was there a part of you that was like slightly scared? It's like, oh God, Kim is gonna flip out?
No.
Okay, yeah, because I don't flip out.
No, first of all, you don't flip out. And B, like, why is it just my responsibility anyway?
Hey, you have never expressed. Oh my God, pressing publish is too much for me. I just simply cannot do it. Could you do it for once? Not once have you expressed any sort of discomfort with this responsibility, and you've been doing it every week. And now because you conveniently forgot to do it, all of a sudden now I'm responsible.
This is a team effort. Yeah, we're here.
Anyways,
we're here to support each other. This is women supporting women in STEM.
But we'll talk about where John does excel in. He is very good at making breakfast.
Is this the interesting thing you've eaten this week?
It was very simple, but I don't know. I wasn't expecting it. I was just I woke up, drank my coffee, and I was fucking around on my phone. And then John just hands me a bowl, and in this bowl, there's rice. And then there was an omelet, and I'm like, oh, cool, rice and eggs. And I started eating it, but then it was there was sesame oil, furikake, and salt and soy sauce on there. It all sounds very simple, but it really hit the spot somehow.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. So
the omelet was super fluffy and moist, and then the rice just sopped up all the egg juice and all the different seasonings. It was really good.
So the way that I make my omelet rice is that I use the bowl that I'm going to use the rice in, that I put the rice in, to actually crack and mix the eggs. So there's a little bit of raw egg at the bottom, and when the rice hits it, it cooks that egg at the bottom enough. It's hot enough because the rice goes in at 150 degrees.
So for people, they're raw egg, salmonella. No.
And even then, I put raw egg in my rice all the time anyway, and I'm
I
fine.
mean, I eat raw eggs, you know.
It's a risk that's totally worth it to me.
However, if a listener you know, decides to eat a raw egg and gets salmonella, we are not responsible.
I can do it. I know exactly what I'm supposed to write in all the menus. Consuming raw or undercooked eggs or meats can result in can increase your risk of contracting foodborne illness, and you do so at your own risk.
Yes, and personally for me, the payoff is worth it.
Yeah, me too. And so after you like dump the egg into a nicely buttered pan, nonstick frying pan with butter, once the egg hits the pan, you got to take your chopsticks and you got to like kind of like scratch at the egg. Obviously use wooden chopsticks on a nonstick pan when you do this, so that you kind of scramble the first part of the eggs that hits the pan, and then you leave it alone for a little bit. So the liquid egg at the bottom of the pan becomes like omelet-like with a little bit of scrambled egg in the middle. And then you fold the omelet on top of this scrambled egg, and then and you fold it again for like 2 layers. So like 2 omelet layers, 1 scrambled egg later. And that's how you get like super fluffy. And there's plenty of liquid egg in there still, so it really gets into your rice.
Yum. Mm-hmm. Honestly, egg and rice is probably like my favorite breakfast.
Mine too.
And that's like my biggest like issue with like a lot of like American diners. It's always the same thing. It's like 2 eggs, 2 bacon, like 2 toast, or like pancakes. But like a lot of times, like I was like, I don't want this for breakfast. I want rice, eggs, and maybe bacon.
And normally when you do like an egg and rice thing, your ratio of how much egg versus how much rice you have is way different, because you normally have like more egg than you would have rice. And when you only have like 2 eggs with toast and bacon and everything else, like that to me is like too much breakfast.
Yeah.
Like a full American, full English
like
breakfast. Like that's like,
yet like not as satisfying as eating like a bowl of rice per se.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because bread is more dense. Bread, muffins, pancakes and stuff is more dense. So you actually like cram a whole lot more carbohydrates. So it takes up less space in your stomach, I think. Rice actually like fills it up and actually gets you full. At least it does for me.
Yeah. And it just tastes yummy, so soft and fluffy and ooey. I love rice.
Me too.
I can't wait for the
duck eggs to get here.
With 2 Asian people.
Yeah, right.
So our opinions might be a little biased.
I will say though, like, I don't know if we have mentioned this on the podcast before, but like I'm really starting to come around to pancakes.
You know what? I am exactly the same. You know, we talked about how much like we don't like pancakes. And, you know, I carried a sentiment with me for the longest time. And the other day, one of my friends was like, want to meet me for breakfast? And I was like, sure. You know, like, because like breakfast I always eat at home. So like, you know, I don't really ever have like a reason or excuse to ever like go get breakfast somewhere else, you know? Like brunch is a different thing about breakfast. And I guess like this place is known for their pancakes and like the line is long. So she was like, let's meet there at 8:30. And I'm like, oh my God, I never leave my house before like 10 a.m. at least. And even that's early for me. But yeah, I went to this like diner place at 8:30 and there was still a line. Luckily it moved fast. We sat down and then I ordered like omelet and then we shared like a pancake stack.
Oh.
And normally I'm never like a pancake for breakfast person, you know, like, I mean, to me, pancake is more like a dessert, you know, like a meal between, or, you know, but for some reason, these pancakes really, really hit. So they're super fluffy, but then also like the part where it touches the grill were crispy. And then there's like a little like salty aftertaste, but then it was also really buttery. And I don't like too much like syrup on my pancake because I feel like it just makes the cake denser and too sweet. I just like a little like kiss of a syrup. And that's exactly how I ate it. And it was really, really good. And I'm like, I can see why people get into pancakes. Like I still wouldn't like go to a diner and just order pancakes for breakfast, but like
Definitely one for the table.
like sharing like a stack, like this is a rather pleasant experience.
Yeah.
And as someone who is like a butter enthusiast, being able to taste like a cake that is so buttery and salty, I was believing into fantasy.
I agree. Pause for a second. Turn off the notifications on your computer. I can hear whatever text message.
Oh, sorry.
Someone is blowing up your phone. What is that?
It's Discord.
Should we start a Discord for the podcast?
Is there an interest?
I mean, like, what would we do on it? Like, just go on and hang out with people who like us?
I've only ever used Discord for games, so I wouldn't know like how to use Discord otherwise.
Yeah, I've definitely...
I mean, I'm open to it. I'm not opposed to it, but I just know,
I'm
like...
part of some like food YouTuber Discords and stuff like that. And like, I think, I don't know, if it gets big enough, like we could turn on the live chat on Discord.
Yeah.
While we like record our podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should
hopefully
keep all
we
of
have
this
a lot of intelligent listeners who can figure out Discord usually.
I mean, just like late millennial Gen Z, I feel like those are the people that, late millennial. I can't say millennial. Late millennial and Gen Z. Beyond Discord.
Well, Discord, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, let's go back to the breakfast. Okay, so my personal favorite breakfast growing up was just rice and raw egg mixed together. And then like dash up like soy sauce in there. And like a lot of people who Americans are gonna think like it's weird, and you're probably not gonna like it because it's like mushy, and you also get like a lot of those like, ew, I'm a texture person, and I just like eye roll those people. I'm like, okay, we get it, you're white.
You are spicy today. Oh my god.
It's always like, I don't know. It's okay to not like something,
It's true. But it is okay to not like something, but it's like...
It's okay to not like something, but then there are also people like who declares like, I'm not going to like this, I'm not going to like this, and then they won't even try it, And I don't know, I feel like it's one thing like if you're allergic, but I don't know, at least take like a small taste of it before you decide you're not going to like it instead of,
Not even that. I'm like I'm a person that will try something like multiple times to make sure that it's not for me, because first of all, I don't like feeling left out when it comes to food. And I was like, oh, maybe like I'm just not eating it right, or maybe I'm not. And it's not even like I won't try something more than once at a sitting. Like if I come across it again, like a dish or something like that, I was like, well, maybe I just didn't have it in the right way, or the person that made it the first time wasn't very good at it. Like there's so many reasons why an experience for food might not be ideal in any given situation, that it's like, okay, if you've had it once, like if someone else is eating it, like ask if you can just try some again. Like what's the worst thing? Like people who make such a big deal about not liking the taste of something versus like doing going through other things that they don't like. Like, come on, it's not that serious.
What are like some of the food that you like didn't like before, but then like it like grew on you, or you learned to love it?
I think I'm convinced I started liking pancakes because I'm involved with a podcast that's called One for the Table. I think it's just been like positive reinforcement being on this podcast and like having that associated with pancakes. I was like, and they're also easy to make.
They are, like,
less hassle than a waffle for sure, because I don't have a waffle maker. And I have like, especially now that I have my like electric stove that has a built-in griddle on it that's just on all the time, it's like I can make pancakes whenever. And so I find especially protein pancakes are pretty good. It's just protein bread with butter and sugar-free syrup. But other foods that I don't like that I've had that I got used to and then began to like later. Oh, fish. I used to be. I think I had a really bad reaction to like fish when I was younger, and for the longest time, I could not eat any kind of fish. I think it was like between the ages of like, I don't know, like 5 and like 12 or whatnot. And then what got me liking fish again is actually sushi. And then I started enjoying steamed fish as long as it wasn't too fishy tasting. And now I'm okay. But there are situations where I can have too much fish and not feel very good.
Mm-hmm. Because afterwards, it gets a little too fishy, for the lack of a better word.
And then doesn't like too much of that fishy pungency does make my stomach turn if I have like way too much of it.
Makes sense. A food that I used to like hate before, but grew to love it, is actually bitter melon.
And that's still not my favorite.
Like the first time I tasted bitter melon, I was just like, "Oh my god, it's so bitter! Like, why would anybody eat this?" But then the more I did, I'm like, "Okay, I think I kind of get it. I get it. Okay, all right."
Maybe I need to have better.
And then in Korea, there's this dish called hongohae, which is a skate wing that's been fermented.
Damn.
Wow, when you eat it, it has like a very, very strong ammonia scent.
Yeah.
Like very strong to the point where like your nose goes numb.
Ooh.
But that's like, and I had it when I was young, and I'm like, oh my god, this is disgusting. How can anybody eat this? And I ate it as an adult, and I'm like, oh, it's not like a taste that like I'm gonna like rush out the door to get it, but I see why people like it, and I kind of don't mind it now.
I think I'll never really get to a point where I like mind anything. Like if it makes me cry, like ammonia, I'm really sensitive to that kind of like aroma, because it's not really a taste, really. It's like a really strong smell. So like 1,000-year-old egg, unless it's in kanji. Oh, I bet hongohae might be pretty good in kanji then. Like bits of it, you think?
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not opposed to trying it.
Because 1,000-year-old egg is amazing in kanji.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it might be good. But also, it's such a delicacy that's expensive. I couldn't imagine just like putting it in a kanji.
Oh, that's fair.
You know?
That's fair.
It's not something that's like easily accessible. So
yeah.
And then also, the first time I tried Szechuan peppercorn, like I bit into the Szechuan peppercorn and my entire mouth then numb, and I was
Did
like,
you think you were having like
the hell is this?
All right. I think I gave it to somebody for the first time and they thought they were having an allergic reaction to it because they were allergic to like a lot of food. So they like, I think they had a little bit of a, not a panic attack, but they definitely like got worried a little bit. And I'm not sure if they injected themselves or not, but I was like, oh, I'm very, very sorry. Everybody feels that way when we chew this, though, because it makes you able to eat spicier.
But now, yeah, I'm sort of like addicted to it. Like,
it's so
mala.
Good. It's so good.
Oh, you still haven't had a mala dry pot?
I have not, but it's way too hot here right now to do it. I'm in LA again.
But you say that. But then when you think about all the places that eat dry pots and hot pots, they're like hot tropical places.
Yeah, but those are all like places where it's like the best thing that you can do for your body to stay cool is literally sweat a lot. And we have ceiling fans and we have cold drinks. And we had nyangmyeon yesterday.
I mean, they did too.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like living in some like third world jungle.
Oh, I know that. But like, I do not like hot food in hot weather. I like refreshing. I I'm basic in that way. I like my refreshing. Either that or I have to be like in very, very cold air conditioning. Yesterday's lunch was so perfect. Like cold apps, cold food.
So yesterday we went to a Korean restaurant that specializes in naengmyeon and 족발 냉채. And naengmyeon is a Korean noodle dish where they chill the beef broth. You've heard us talk about it in this podcast before if you're a regular listener. And 족발 냉채 is like a pork hock that's been chilled, sliced thinly, and then they serve it on top of like a bed of salad with like these like super garlicky ginger dressing.
It is so
yummy.
Oh, and we just had like cold food, and we also had garlic fried pancakes.
Garlic fried?
Garlic chives. Garlic chive. Garlic chive.
Not garlic chive. Chive.
Chive. Garlic chive fried pancakes.
There was no garlic in there.
Oh, we call them garlic chives because the flat ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in English, those are called garlic chives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also called
because the American chives are like the super long and skinny ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are more oniony, and the garlic chives are more garlicky.
Yeah. Do you feel like a lot of times, like, instead of chives, it's like much more cost efficient to just use green onion?
Yes. It depends because
I mean, like, I appreciate like the flavor of chive. I just don't understand why it's so expensive.
Because they spoil really fast.
Yeah, well,
they're
green
more
onion,
delicate.
You buy like a bundle, it lasts forever in your refrigerator.
Oh, for sure. And like chives themselves, like I think it's because they are smaller. But I only use those as like garnish, really. Same with green onion, though.
A lot of time when I see like food content creators, like they use like chives for everything, but I'm like, I get it, and but I just feel like green onion would be just like a much more.
I agree for like some things, but for chives, I think that's also because the water content is less. So it's not much of a vegetable taste. It's just more of a flavor. So like I wouldn't, for example, I wouldn't really put personally green onions on mashed potatoes. Why? I would put them on a baked potato, but I wouldn't put it on mashed potatoes. I would prefer chives. I would prefer like small. I would prefer
green onion on mashed potatoes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
because I don't really want anything to interrupt the texture of the mashed potatoes, and I think green onions is too big and too like kind of has a vegetable crunch to it. That
you don't have to like cut it like that thick. You can also slice it very thinly.
You could.
But see, I think that's why I like green onion with mashed potatoes, because mashed potatoes like so rich and creamy, and then the green onion like just kind of like cuts through all that richness.
Yeah.
But to each your own, if you like chives, put chives on. If you like green onions, put green onions on.
I mean,
you're not mashed potato police.
I mean, chances are I will be using. I don't have chives unless I had chives in my garden. I don't really have chives on the ready very often.
And then, sort of like opposite to like what we're talking about. Do you know which food I used to like love, but now like I don't love it as much anymore?
Oh, what? Tell me.
Short rib.
Oh, that is a bold statement. Why?
I mean, okay, no, I still love short rib. It's not. It's not that like, oh, short rib is disgusting. I'll never fucking eat it. It's not that at all.
Okay.
But growing up, like, so short rib was like an expensive food, so we didn't get to like eat it often, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there was like a Carby gym or something, or like LA Carby, it was like a special day. But after like being in like the food scene and like
seeing
with like a lot of people that wants to like go taste like, I just feel like short rib is like served everywhere now. Like short rib tacos, short rib bone broth, short rib like pizza, like short rib this, short rib that. here's like short rib, but like cheese melted over, and it's not that like I dislike it. I think I just got sick of it because like all the fine dining or any like sort of like, you know,
I think the reason why you see short rib a lot is that it's easy. It's okay. So it's not like easy to cook in the general sense, but it's easy in the sense that you just braise short rib for a really, really long time.
mhm.
And because it's so fatty, it will always be like a moist meat.
Mhm.
And you can just kind of like leave it. Like it's
Yeah.
also easy to store and easy to slop onto things. And so that's why you see a lot of short rib around. And it's also like in a lot of people's minds, it's a fancy thing, but it's also like a time and effort effective labor, not very labor intensive thing to make. So that's why a lot of restaurants say we'll have short rib something on the menu, and because they know it'll do well. I still like short rib, but I do agree that it doesn't hit the same now that it's everywhere. And also, like, if I ever see short rib on a tasting menu, I just know they want me to be full.
Yeah.
Because it's so they
So
want me to
rich.
hurt myself. Yeah, it's so rich and it's so fatty that, like, you know, when your stomach is like exposed to that much oil and fat at once, like in the form of liquid fat, it literally like shrinks up. Like it puckers and makes you feel full immediately. It's a very good trick to have at the end of a tasting menu to put that's a tiny bit of short rib in there. And even the hungriest person that comes to like your set course dinner will leave at least satisfied, at most feeling overstuffed, because generally there's like a dessert or two that comes after that.
And also, yeah.
I mean, I do that trick. I always do that trick.
You're gonna hear first, so if you're like overly full from John's dinner, you're like the damn short rib. He did it again.
It's the short rib. The
That
short rib
fucking
did
short
it to
rib.
me.
And the way like short rib is served, it's always served with like rich accoutrements too, like cheesy grits or like heavy mashed potato. Or
I like pairing it with pickles.
Yeah, well, you're not most people. I'm talking about in general sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Not everything is about you.
I thought you would be happy to find out that I pair my short rib with pickles, because you always need a little. You need a little tart, just a little.
That little. Moi.
Little what? Do that again.
Little moi. But generally, short rib is served with like richer condiments, right?
Yeah. Or like a carb.
Yeah. Even like when they serve it like an Asian way, you know, like Korean garbage jim with like cheese like torched on it or something like that. Or it's served in rice cakes.
Lot. Oh my gosh, that sounds so filling.
Yeah.
But also kind of good.
So let me rephrase. I don't hate short rib. I'm just sick of short rib. And I'd be fine just like taking a break from it for a while.
So wait, Korean galbi, how do you say it?
Galbijim.
So if you had that short ribs with cheese on top of it, on top of tteokbokki, would that be like poutine?
No, because there's no potato.
No, but it's kind of like it. It's kind of like French fries.
No, not at all.
Wonder if it hits.
You
like
can't just turn meat into fries.
I was hoping that the tteokbokki would be like the replacement for fries.
No, not even.
It's shaped similarly.
No.
Okay.
I will stand my ground on this one. You will not colonize a Korean dish like this, calling it a poutine.
On that note, we should take a break because the Instacart is here.
All right.
Unsponsored.
Break time. And just like that, we're back.
No, seriously, don't post that on WikiFeed.
So, John had his like feet up like right on my screen for some reason, so I took a screenshot of it. I think I'm gonna post it on WikiFeed.
No, don't. I was sitting at a wide cross-legged angle and stretching out my hip at the same time. And it just so happened that my feet was pointed at the camera and I did not realize it. And no, if I'm going to get on there, I want it to be like real and for real
It is
reasons.
real.
Not because
What if
you
your foot
decided
is a fake? A wooden
no,
leg?
not because that you decided that it would be funny to post my feet on a wiki feed. I want like somebody who actually cares about that stuff. I want it to be special.
Let me see if you're already on WikiFeed.
I am definitely not on WikiFeed already. I'm not.
You've checked.
I have not checked, but I feel like this would be one of those things where it's like the minute that I go on live stream, somebody would immediately tell me and report to me that I am on WikiFeed.
Okay, so I'm on WikiFeed right now. Oh, there's a WikiFeed men. All right, so let's see. John.
Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that it was gendered.
Okay, upload.
Wait, stop. No.
Members only. I have to be a member to upload a picture of.
Oh.
All right,
Do not open a membership.
I guess I can't. I'm not opening a membership.
Your username is not going to be like Kim Feet.
Kim Feet. Oh my god. John Feet makes me Kong.
Yeah.
Well, John, I can't make you a star on WikiFeed, unfortunately.
That's okay. That's okay.
Due to the barriers.
I don't need to rely on nepotism to get me on WikiFeed.
Feetfetism.
Feetfetism. I know I had a story to tell, or at least, oh yeah, I was in Seattle recently for the first time, and it is beautiful up there. It's so pretty, and the air is so amazing. I actually ran a half marathon when I was up there, and I didn't even plan on it. It was just, the air was just so clean, I couldn't stop running. But we got to hang out at the Chef Steps studio, and they make all these like tools and stuff, specifically like the best sous vide stick circulator. Personally, in my opinion, that's on the market right now. And I got to cook with a whole bunch of content creators, including one of your faves.
Cooking with Shireen.
And
if you don't know, Cooking with Shireen, she's like your friend's cool mom.
Yes. 100%.
It's how she comes across, and then all of her recipes actually look really delicious. I would love to taste her cooking, and she just seems like a cool woman. And
she is.
I'm a sucker for like fun moms that are food content creators. I think that's why I love like Cooking with Shireen or oh my god, the lunchbox Jessica. Yeah.
Let's make lunch for my kids.
Yeah. And then Cooking Bomb,
hell yeah. Tabitha Brown too.
Yeah. It's just like when the moms are like making like food for their kids, like in the video, like, you know, like these are like genuine food, you know, that they're making it with love because they want their kids to eat it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I agree. And
it's not just
when you say like, I understand what you mean, but when people say like quote unquote cool moms, like it's not like a mom who's trying to be cool, but an actually cool mom. So she's like, the cool mom is not the mom who gives you like wine coolers while you're in high school because she'd rather you drink at home. Like it's not the Amy Poehler from Mean Girls mom, but it's like the actual cool mom who like walks in fucking done up with a glass of really nice wine, seeing what you're doing. And she's not giving you any wine because it's probably expensive wine. So like that's the cool mom vibe that Shireen gives off. She's coming in with like her Chanel scarf and just like looking fabulous. She waltzes into the studio like just decked out and just like ready, and she's just so pretty. I love her. And
then while you're hanging out with your friend, her mom probably asks you, "Do you want to stay for dinner?" And you say yes. And then the dinner is like better than anything you could have ever eaten. Like
it's coursed out. It's served. It's served in the Staub cast iron, unmarked, still like clean looking Dutch oven that she cooked it in.
Hope you like it. It's just something I threw together.
Yeah.
And like, what do you mean this like dish that I've tasted is like the most delicious dish that I've ever had? It's something you just threw together.
Yes. Oh my God. That
And
is
while your
her.
friend is complaining, he's like, "Mom, this dish again?" And then you kind of want to like slap your friend.
Oh, why is your dog barking at me?
I don't know.
Butter, what's wrong? Why are you looking at me?
Focus. Don't get distracted.
Sorry. Yeah. What were you talking about?
Your friend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
She's
God, you really do have ADHD, don't you?
I can't help it. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It keeps our
of course
content.
it's fine. What are we gonna do about it?
Yeah, no, there's nothing we can do. There's literally nothing that we can do about it, and I'm sure it helps keep our content fresh and
exciting.
And exciting. Yeah,
Woohoo.
fresh and exciting.
Ooh.
What are you doing? What is that? Is that a pipe cleaner?
It is a pipe cleaner. I was
Are you cleaning out your straw? Okay, yeah. And now you're talking about how I'm ADD?
Because you're going on about nothing. But anyways, let's bring it back. This podcast is going so...
See? It's not me. I'm not doing it. It's not my fault.
No. Getting distracted by it is your fault.
Yeah, but he's just so cute.
And my dog is pretty cute.
Butter is so cute.
Oh my God. So speaking of dog being cute, one of my friends posted about his dog food that he was feeding to his dog. So basically, he moved to LA and he switched his like dog food to one of those like chef like curated thing. Like
they're like refrigerated and
and it's like the best thing you can feed to your dog. You know, one of those like artisanal like dog food thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, his dog basically like started to go blind and was like losing energy. And then he had no idea why. And he kept taking it to like the hospital and like doing all these things. And like the dog's like hair wasn't growing.
Oh my God.
And then he switched the food back to kibble.
Yeah.
And then the dog miraculously got better. And then all of his symptoms went away. And then he realized that food, like that artisanal food that he's been feeding his dog, was actually making the dog malnourished from nutrients.
Whoa, that is wild.
Right?
I mean, like, yeah, like you see them on TikTok too. Actually, there's this one dog food one where it's like super ASMR-y and everything is like frozen, flash frozen, and looks like super delicious. And there's like bone broth and stuff that you can give to your dogs and stuff. Like, yes, I mean, you know, Whole Foods are probably pretty good for it, but like at the end of the day, the kibble has been like, for at least like the good quality kibble is like scientifically back to be like wholly nutritious. Like it's supposed to be everything your dog actually needs in the day. And if you're giving your dog like frozen or pre-prepared or mushed up meals and stuff like that, there's no guarantee that there's enough of any one thing, especially if your dog has been just over the course of their life gotten so used to having something that was so easily accessed in nutrients. Like you can't just make that switch like that. Even when you're switching kibble, you're supposed to like slowly change it. Like start with like 3/4 to 1/4, half and half, and then 3/4 to 1/4, and then like switch it out. You're not supposed to switch out dog food like that really, really fast. It's not good for your dog.
It's kind of crazy how like dogs were these like wild creatures that would survive in the wild, and then humans like domesticated them, and now like they have zero survival instinct.
Yeah,
they'll die without humans.
Yeah,
and even like when humans care, like they still find ways to like harm themselves by like eating things that they're not supposed to.
Oh my God, yes, I mean, we are talking about butter.
And also, like, why are dogs like so allergic to so many things?
It's because we've like bred, like half of them are more inbred than like the British royal family. Like it's that issue. It's like we've decided that we think that one trait in a specific dog is super cute, and even though it's like physically not possible for them to excel in that way because of this deformity that we find to be adorable. So we just make sure they keep it. And so they have breathing problems and skin problems and digestive issues and all of that stuff that's associated with it. And we just, that's us. That's selective breeding for you.
Poor doggies, but we love them.
Poor doggies. Poor doggies. But we do that with a lot of animals. Like if the world ends and it's like every person and animal for themselves, like ain't none of those chickens at the Tyson factory gonna survive.
Imagine what a beautiful place Earth would be, like if humans never existed.
Yes, but I also think about how like the world is cruel and nature is ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is beautiful, but it is trying to kill you at all times. Like the world is literally trying to like, it is coming for you at all times. We just are like, we're actually no different than dogs. Like we've selectively bred a whole bunch of,
fundamentally like changing like the landscape and like the ozone layers and like burning things 100%. Down and like polluting the sea with like microplastics and
and if we stopped, if we like just ceased to exist, the world would literally heal back and pretend nothing happened within a couple of years.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, all the domesticated animals would all die off.
Yeah. All the domestic and the wild ones, it would just start a different cycle without humans, and it would just look a slightly different, and it might be a change in trajectory, but like otherwise, like our interest in preserving the environment is ultimately selfish because it is going to be harder for us to survive with the way that we are fucking up this planet. Mm-hmm. But if we did not survive, the planet would literally brush us off like, oh, well, that kind of sucked for a minute. And I don't think people realize that. They think like, oh, we're hurting the earth. Bitch, no, we're not. Earth will bounce back. We would not. We are delicate and fleshy.
Okay, let's talk about a theoretical scenario. What you think would happen?
Okay.
So Thanos snaps his fingers, and half the population disappears, except all the liberals are gone, and it's only conservatives left on Earth. Like far right wing people are the only ones left.
Yes.
What do you think the world will be like?
They will actually probably calm the fuck down. Like, it is very obvious that even though, whereas like liberal-minded people with the things that we are interested in, we kind of like make our own fun. We produce our own art. Like that is your general mindset of like overgeneralizing, obviously. But then again, we're snapping away half of them based on a generalization. Like we do a lot of the creative production that we put out into the world, whereas like the hyper-conservative people exist only as a foil to the people that they don't like. Like who they do not like comprises most of their personality. That is why, even though they have their own like social media networks like Truth Social and whatever the other one was, like conservative versions of Twitter existed, but they really wanted to celebrate taking over Twitter because we were on there as well. And now that everyone is leaving Twitter, it's going to implode because they actually can't stand being around each other because that is all they do. They exist to spite us, but without us, they also have nothing to talk about.
So true.
Like that is it. Like that's just the thing. Like I've noticed this like if you ever went on those websites and stuff like that, that's all they do.
Yesterday, they don't talk about their actual. I thought. Oh, sorry.
I was like, they don't talk about their passions and loves and stuff like that because, frankly, they think that shit is gay.
It's true. Yesterday, I was driving here in LA, and I saw this car, and he had like a big neon sign in the back of his window that says, "Do not trust the liberal media." And I'm like, that is kind of like a bold thing to like carrying around like LA. Oh, both sentiment to like display around LA. So
But
then
LA
I was
is,
like, I'm gonna like drive a little ahead just to see what it looks like. I'll bet you he's a balding white guy, with those like Oakley sunglasses.
yeah.
And I was exactly right. I was like,
Yeah.
all of you look the same.
I mean, I feel like there are a lot of conservatives in Los Angeles and California
Oh,
in general.
for sure.
Yeah, because California is just like, it's the type of place that attracts everyone of all kinds. Because I've seen like Christian billboards and stuff like that just straight up in downtown LA. I mean, the two biggest fast food chains here all have like Bible references on them, like Chick-fil-A
sure.
and In-N-Out has like Bible references on their thing. Like they are everywhere. But it's just like, it's weird that it happens here. Like, even though everybody is next to each other in a way, it doesn't seem like people are really coexisting here.
I mean, also there's like a huge separation of like
Neighborhoods, spaces, distance. Yeah.
Just from like East LA to like K-Town to like downtown to Beverly Hills to Inglewood to Silver Lake, just all different, like very segregated neighborhoods.
Yeah, I was in Silver Lake the other day. It's very, very hip.
Yeah, Silver Lake is a cute place to go if you don't drive, because there's no fucking parking anywhere.
Is Silver Lake somewhat walkable though?
From here?
Not here, like in general, like the neighborhood. Like, you know how West Hollywood is walkable? Silver Lake is is Silver Lake walkable?
If you don't mind walking a lot.
Okay. So maybe it's like scooterable.
It's definitely scooterable. But also there's like in Silver Lake there's like also a lot of hills.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I mean technically LA is walkable. It's just a matter of like, are you gonna enjoy your walk? Well, that could be determined.
No. I've run a lot around this area, and it's not the most pleasant thing, but the weather's nice.
The weather is beautiful.
Yeah. The weather is beautiful. It do be beautiful.
Okay, wait. So going back to Santa's finger snaps.
Uh-huh.
And all the conservatives disappear, and it's only liberals left.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think will happen?
So that would be assuming that I survived. And I think it would be split up pretty quickly between liberals and leftists, if those were the only two types of folks that were left. Because leftists are that leaning. And then I think liberals would probably be like the new conservatives in a way. And that we just argue over like a whole bunch of stuff and maybe not get a lot. We might get more done, but we still wouldn't get a lot done.
We'd be arguing for about everything.
We would be arguing about so much. And I would probably very quickly be very annoyed and just hermit myself and just live by myself. But yeah, no, I think society would still function and function better. And probably we would have we would maintain a better role in regards to wait, does he snap the entire world or just the USA?
Well, let's just say just the USA.
Okay, so if he's and only the liberals are there, like we'd still probably be talking with the rest of the world. If the conservatives were here, like the rest of the world would probably not take us seriously anymore.
That's true. Okay, now here's another question. Which do you think will be a better thriving society? If all the men disappeared, if all the women disappeared?
Kill all
the women to disappear?
No, kill all men. 100%. Get rid of every single one.
I agree.
Also, just based off of like physiology and science, it seems like it would be much easier to figure out how women can just continue to procreate by themselves than trying to figure out how to get men to do that. So like if only the men were around, we'd be in for like maybe a couple of generations if we do not kill ourselves within the first one, which we probably will. And then the women will figure it out and they could like keep humanity going. But I still do encourage them to like, you know, throw all the male babies down the well. Yeah, no.
Extract the semen and toss it down the well.
Yeah, kill all men. Me first.
Theoretical extreme situations. Anyways. So back to breakfast eggs. Wow, we really veered off topic.
This is really the stuff that I think about when I'm like chopping vegetables and stuff like that. It was like, how would the world be better? It's like if there were no men.
I think about like the most random things and like the most random times. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, do I have my birth certificate?
What? Do you?
Yeah.
I think
and sometimes like, I don't know, I'll be like going through like the airport.
Uh-huh.
And be like, did I forget to turn off like the shower? I mean, I always turn off the shower, but like just random thoughts.
When you texted me and asked me if I had my passport, that was actually like and then you were like, I'm sorry, I'm being such a mom. I was like, that was valid, because normally I just carry because I have an enhanced license. So generally that works as like a real ID for everything, but you cannot fly to Mexico with it. And the only reason why I had my passport was because I got a speeding ticket like 2 days before I left for Seattle, and the cop did not give me back my license.
What? Why?
Yeah, no, the cop straight up did not give me back my license. I was so flustered with getting a speeding ticket a block away from my house, by the way. I was so upset because they had turned like the next street over into a speed trap. I mean, yeah, whatever. And so he did not give me back my license. And so I preemptively just carried my passport with me everywhere because I needed an ID when I realized that. And the day, like the evening before I left, the cop showed up at my house and gave me my license back.
What?
That's how I know he took it. He gave it back, but not before I already ordered a replacement one. Like I spent the $30 to get it replaced from the Secretary of State. So I'm going to have 2 licenses by the time I get back, which I hear is also illegal to have. But I was so upset. I was so upset that he like put me through all of that. But
well, maybe you shouldn't speed in neighborhoods. How about that?
Okay. That we're not talking about that right now. But that being said, if he did not do that, there is a chance that I would have forgotten to bring my passport.
Yeah, I only ask because like John is a very intelligent human being, but he's not the most he's not the most
Go on.
I'm trying to find like the best word.
Just use any word, Kim.
Only thing that matters is you have your passport for this Mexico trip we're about to go on, and that makes me very happy.
Finish your sentence.
Oh, yeah. Maybe what forgetful sometimes.
What?
You know, yeah, let's go with forgetful. I mean, you are very forgetful, though.
I am. Wait, what have we done together that would lead you to think that I am very forgetful?
Like forgetting to upload the podcast?
That was one time.
You never lock the door when you come in to my home? Like never?
It's not my fault.
No. That is your fault. And sometimes like at 3 a.m. I would like check the door just to make sure I'm like, oh, it's been wide open. And John just locked the door that he forgot to lock.
Listen, I'm not gonna say I have. First of all, I have electric locks at my house. So
yes, I'm so sorry that we're a peasant and we can't afford to have electric locks on a home that we rent.
Yeah, we have. It's actually really easy to replace them. I can install them if you want.
No, I'm not putting more money into this rent home.
But you can also take it with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna know how to dismantle that.
Okay. Well, just so you know, I can do both, but I do a lot of handy stuff around this house. Yeah, and also like I have this mentality where I feel like I'm the security system. Like if it is daylight, maybe it's because like the way I was just raised and stuff, and because I'm always within eyeshot of my front door, where it's like who's gonna walk in, and who's gonna walk in with like if they were gonna break in, they were gonna break in.
Yeah, but it's like it shouldn't be that easy. They shouldn't
It's
be able
true.
to like
It's true,
just
and I
walk in your
shouldn't. And I
front
shouldn't
door.
say. Yeah, I should. I'll be better about it. Especially with. I'm not so much scared for myself as much as I should be more doing it for my dogs and Little John.
And butter.
And
And
yeah, because
also,
yeah.
I am a single bachelor that is very desired. I have my innocence that I need to protect. And you don't know what kind of a scary man is out there looking to take my ooh.
not your ooh woo.
My ooh.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to make like duck eggs on rice after this. Have you had duck eggs before?
I've had duck eggs, but not like the way you're about to cook it.
I'll make an omelet and I will do one sunny side up. And I will do an over easy so we can dip some of this like Japanese milk bread into it.
Yum.
Mm.
Well, let's end the podcast so we can go eat.
I mean, it is, yeah. Okay, that's our time.
Bye, everyone.
Are you going to do the thing?
You do it.
No, I don't remember the thing.
All right, if you like what you heard, like, subscribe, and don't be a hater. John doesn't like haters. John will show you his feet if you're a hater.
Hey, okay, good night. Bye.